Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Florence. I'm a Cameroonian based in Japan. Thank you so much for stopping by to watch this video. I really appreciate you. And if you're new here, thank you so much for coming. To all my returning subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you and I appreciate you guys all for your love and support you've been showing me so far. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, click the red button that says subscribe and equally turn on your notification bell so that each time I upload a video, you'll be notified of the video. Okay, so today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I lost my job in Japan. This video is going to be in two parts. This is part one of the video, and I promise you guys I'm going to complete the video as soon as I have time. To people, I love Japanese people. Okay, of course I love Japan, that's why I'm in Japan. So just going to be clearing the air for some people who think that I really hate Japan. From my last video, I've been having so many comments. Please, I don't hate Japan. I'm just giving you guys my experience living in Japan as a black woman. So I'm just basically going to be telling you guys everything that happened from the start to the end. And if I'm unable, like I said before, to complete the video, I'm going to do a part 2 of the video. So please stay tuned and let's get into the video. So welcome back again, guys. So what actually happened was I was working for this company. I've worked with them for a year plus. So the school year ended. I was working as an LC. The school year ended, so the company asked me to move to another school. So I was like, okay, fine, no problem. That was the countryside, and for some reasons I won't be mentioning the company's name. It's not a bad company. Moved to another place where I never had an apartment. There was no company's apartment that I had to go live in. I had to stay. So I was forced to go in for my own apartment. I was forced to look for my own apartment, which I did. And they told me they can't be my guarantor. The company said they can't be my guarantor, so I have to look for a guarantor. Of course, I paid 18,000 yen for whoever stood as a guarantor, which at the end of the day, I found out it was still the same company that stood as a guarantor for my apartment. Yeah, so that was what happened when I was signing the contract and all of that for the apartment. So when I moved to my new location, then I moved to my apartment. So when I moved to my apartment, they actually brought my things for me to the apartment. I started the new schools I was introduced to. So what happened was I was taken to this school. I had 3 schools, 2 junior high and 1 elementary school to teach. So when I was introduced to one of the junior high schools, where I was supposed to go there only twice a week, and the other school I was supposed to go there 3 times a week. So the day we went for introduction, my coordinator and other colleagues, we went there for like presenting us, because we were 3 of us in number. Like, they had to introduce us to our various schools. So when they took me to my own school, this particular school, the Japanese lady we met there, she happened to be the head of the English department. The moment we came, she saw me and she was like, is it a new LT? And then my supervisor said yes. So she just snubbed, like gave us a kind of attitude and walked away. I noticed it, and then my coordinator also did. She also noticed that the lady gave us attitude, but she just pretended like nothing happened. So, and then the next thing we heard was a manager called and said the lady called her and was angry that we came late, that she had been waiting all day in school for us to come, that we came late. So I don't know if that was the reason why she was behaving the way she behaved, or so the coordinator told the manager her reaction, and the manager said that was it for that lady. That's her. She has attitude problems, so it is okay with her. So I was introduced and greeted other teachers, the principal and the vice principal and everybody. And then we left there going back. I told my coordinator, like, this lady seems to be a very difficult person. She said, yes, the manager already made mention of that. And please, we are actually looking for ways on how you can work with this lady. We really wish that you try to cope with her, because she's really a difficult type. Other teachers that have worked with her also complained about her attitude. So please, it seems like she doesn't really like foreigners. So just please be very calm with her. Don't worry, we know you can do it, we know you can do your best. I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. So I left, and that was it. Trust me, you guys, the school was really far, like 30 minutes on foot. I had to walk from the station 30 minutes. I don't drive a car. The manager suggested to me that why don't I get a bicycle to ride to school. I said, okay, fine, but how will my bicycle get to the station? So he said, okay, he's gonna help me, she's gonna help me to get a bicycle. So she came back one day. She called me after school, took me out. I bought a bicycle, and then we went to drop it at the station. So the first day I was to go to that school, I had to go on my bike. I had to use my bicycle. I rode a bicycle to school. And when I got to school, then the first day, of course, as an LT, you watching this video, you're an LT, you know what it means. The first day, you need to go with your indoor shoes. You need to introduce yourself to the students, or do like a PowerPoint or something. So I had my PowerPoint, but since the school didn't have a laptop where I could take to class, and she didn't want me to use her laptop as well, I just had to print out pictures of my country and everything, took it to class and did my introduction. I had to introduce myself first to the teachers in the office, which I did in Japanese. And then when we got to class, she called me back. She called me from outside. She called me outside and said something like, I'm not going to help you. If your Japanese is bad, that is your problem. Like, for the first time, this lady is talking to me. This is what she said. The first day I went to school, this is what she said. I'm not going to help you. If your Japanese is bad, that is your problem. You have to try as much as possible to understand what you are saying. And please make sure that they have questions to ask you at the end of your introduction. Otherwise, it means you didn't introduce yourself. Okay. So when she said that, I was like, okay, fine, no problem. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to speak as much as I can for the students to understand. And I started my introduction. I did everything. I spoke and the student understood. And at the end of the day, they asked me questions, and she was basically telling them to ask me questions. She would write some things in Japanese and ask the students to give it to the students and tell them to ask me. And they asked to the extent like students were asking me my introduction. Little did I know that she is just going to start complaining immediately. So the first thing she did was call my coordinator and told my coordinator that the pictures I printed for my introductions were not really good. Like, they were color photos, but she said they were really small. I needed to make it like on an A3, very big, like a very big something for students to see, but it was on an A4. So as time went on, I was going to school. I was working. The other school was quite very okay, satisfactory. I had no issue. Even school, I used to go twice a week, like I said before. And when I go there, I'll try to find out from her. I used to go there on Wednesdays and Thursdays. When I go on Wednesdays, I'll find out from her, like, what do we have tomorrow on Thursday, because I need to know. So if there's anything I can do, please let me know, and so I can prepare myself also. If there's anything like worksheets, you just tell me. Like, usually she doesn't prepare anything before she goes to class, that when she walks to class, she just teach anything that comes into her mind. So she doesn't prepare anything. So I had to ask one of my colleagues that has worked with her, and he confirmed to me that that's exactly what she does. She doesn't prepare anything before coming to class, that she just walks to class and teaches whatever that comes to her mind, that I should be ready, that she can embarrass me at any time for me to do anything or for me to say anything. And that was exactly what she was doing. At times, she just embarrassed me and asked me a question in class and asked you to do some things in class, bring up some activities in class, some things that you were never prepared for. Like, she just introduce a topic and tell you to come up with a game that students can play. And that was basically some of the problems I was facing with her. Every time I tried to ask her, like, do you need worksheet? I'll ask this lady, like, do you need a worksheet on this topic? I have some worksheet. The same thing I have done for the other school, and we have used there, no problem, we are okay. I'll bring the same worksheet in that school, but trust me, she will complain and never accepted any worksheet from me. She'll turn down every worksheet I bring, even the ones that I use in my other schools. She'll still tell me like, oh no, it's not correct, she doesn't like it. So that was how I had issues with her. She started complaining over everything I do. It got to a point where when I come to school, she would look at me and she will not say good morning. Even if I tell her good morning, she will not respond. I'll greet other teachers good morning. Everybody will be like good morning, ohayo gozaimasu, ohayo gozaimasu. And to her, I felt like maybe if I say good morning in English, she wouldn't respond. So I started telling her go ohayo gozaimasu and all of that. So, but she never responded. She was just sitting next to me. So every time I come and I see her, the moment I enter the teacher's room, I'll notice that she walk away. Yeah, the moment I come to the teacher's room, in the morning she'll just walk away. And then I started noticing some funny attitude that she was putting up. She'll be changing the timetable. Like, she'll change my class period without letting me know. If I had first period or second period, and I'll walk to class to find out that there's another teacher, or maybe there's a science teacher teaching, whereas it was supposed to be English class, then I'll have to return back to the office, and so the principal will just tell me like, oh, we are sorry, they changed the timetable, it is a science teacher that is in class now, English has been moved to maybe 5th period or 6th period. So that's what happened, and I had to complain about this to my company. Like, she's kind of changing the timetable without me knowing. I don't know if it's the school that is changing, but I think that when the timetable changes, you have to also inform the ALT before you, because you just imagine you rush into class and you find another teacher already setting up things to teach, and you're confused. Sometimes students will get to laugh at you, and students will get like say no, and all of that wouldn't allow students to, she wouldn't allow them to come close to me. So what happened was, I used to stay in the teacher's room, and when some students have questions to ask me, with the principal around, principal will ask them like, do they have problems? They say they want to talk to me, and he will usher them like, oh, you should come in, she's in the office, she's off in. And when they come in and they'll be asking me questions, I'll be talking with them, I'll be telling them what they're asking me. The moment the lady comes, when she sees us, she'll just tell the students to disappear and everybody goes. So that was another problem I had. She never wanted the students to come to me. But the role of an ALT is you're supposed to build this communication with students. You're supposed to talk with them more, conversation outside the classroom, and inside the classroom you need to talk with students, assist them in any way you can in English. So, but she never gave me that opportunity or the students to talk to me. I guess it's because of her behavior. She doesn't like foreigners, like they said. It got to a point where I wasn't feeling comfortable anymore going to that school. When the other 3 days I had to go to the other school, I would be super happy, and I'll wake up very early in the morning, very smart to go to school. But when it gets to Wednesday where I had to go to that school, gosh, in fact, I'll just feel like I'm sick. I feel like I'm dying. I don't just feel like going to the school. I was so worried. I know I'm going to come back. In fact, go to that school, considering the fact that I had to ride a train for like 15 minutes, and then when I get to the station I had to ride my bicycle for like 20 minutes to school on the rain and on the sun. So there was a day that she was going to school in the morning, guys, and it was raining. It was raining and I was on my bike. I was struggling to ride very fast to get to school for me not to get late, and she bypassed me with her car, drove in front of me, stopped for a while, looked at me, and then laughed at me, and then took off. Guys, I felt so bad on the bike, and this lady gave me this attitude. I successfully got to school that day. I didn't go late. And then I greeted her. She didn't answer again as usual. I told myself that day I was never going to greet this lady again. I don't care. I've been asking her so many things in class. Like, before we go to class, I'll ask her. Like, I'll try as much as I can to put up a conversation with her, but she will never want to talk to me. No matter how much I try, she doesn't want to respond. She doesn't want to talk to me. In fact, I even complained to some of my friends, like, you guys should give me tips on how to deal with this lady, and everybody was like, she's really a hard type, just let her be. My coordinator told me just let her be for now. So what happened was, now my company decided, like, one week they asked me to go to another school, and then they sent someone else to that school. So the person that went there he went to the school, and when he came back and told me, like, you're really trying, that lady is really hard, that he showed me his worksheet that he did, and the lady rejected the worksheet and told him that she doesn't need a worksheet from ALTs, that she's very okay teaching the way she's teaching. So okay, so he said he explained everything to the manager, and they had to call a meeting, and called me and told me some tips on how to deal with this lady. And for like 2 hours we spoke on Skype, and they tried to orientate me what to do, and asked me all her reaction, all her attitude, and all of that. Of course, there's something that you guys have to understand, and you'll be wondering why this lady has not been reported to the Board of Education, and why, and all of that. The reason is because the company is how do I put it, the company knows that every school you're working for is their customer. Okay, so you have to represent the company, you have to put up a good attitude, you have to be nice no matter what happens. You don't have to bring down the company's name. So they are also working very hard not to bring down the reputation of the company. So that's the more reason why the company cannot just react or go about reporting this lady, because they already know the lady's attitude. So after the session with my manager and my HR and every other person that decided to help me out, guys, the situation became worse. She basically didn't want to see me anymore in school. No matter what I do, she didn't want to see me. She decided to use the students against me. Like, the students became a mockery. When they see me, they laugh at me, and I felt so bad. That was really a very bad experience for me, honestly. I've never had this kind of experience where you walk into school and students see you, instead of greeting you. Or when I first came, the students were like very humble, very nice. They would greet me and respect me. But all of a sudden they just changed, and when the students see me, they will laugh at me, they will behave funny. And I wasn't having this attitude in the other school. That was the funniest thing. In the other school, I was so much loved, that the principal, the vice principal, and everybody. But in this school, I had to stop eating the school lunch because it was just horrible. I couldn't eat with the students. She stopped me from eating with the students. Yeah, having my lunch in the teacher's room. And then after that, I just told myself, like, why would I continue having lunch in the teacher's room if I can't have lunch with the students? So I had to stop taking the lunch, and that was it. Anyway, so I'm going to end this video here, and the next part of this video, I'm going to be telling you guys how eventually I lost the job, and what happened, and what decision did my company take, and what really happened that I lost this job. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video, the part 2 of this video I'm going to be giving you guys.